Hariom Swamiji. Shall we start? Arun Babu, please start.
Hari Om. Panchadashi clause 52 summary. Swamiji explains the Vedantic distinction between Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti. It clarifies what Brahmajnana or Brahmakara Vritti really is and why it differs from states like Samadhi, Sushupti or Pralaya. Vedanta considers Samadhi as a technique of concentration and the means to achieve knowledge or concentration. Vedanta says that the absence of Dvaita is what is experienced in Sushupti and in Pralaya. Then logically, the Satchidananda Brahman should remain, and that should be there as an ultimate experience. Vedanta does not accept this as the final state. Vedanta describes Brahmajnana as Brahmakara Vritti, a mental modification that takes the form of Brahman. Chitta Vritti Nirodha takes place. Vedanta sees Samadhi as a means, not the end. Brahmakara Vritti dissolves subject-object differentiation, that is Brahmajnana. That is ultimately what one has to experience. That implies that which appears to us has to be seen as the form of God's creation. That is called Sarvatma Bhava. You are one with the outside world and the inside world. So there is no subject-object differentiation. There is no I separate from the world. So therefore, Brahmajnana means entering into that ultimate substance in which this universe appears. Therefore, unconsciousness, not the consciousness, in the sense of not knowing the outside object, is not freedom. In Sushupti or Pralaya, there is no Guru, no Shastra, ignorance still remains. It is not the experience. Freedom is the absence of any kind of limitation. Limitation arises from identifying with body, mind, intellect, and ego. When you identify with Satchitananda, all limitations drop. This is Brahmajnanam. Vedantic Samadhi does not remove anything because there is nothing to remove. Everything is Atma. This is Karana Ananyatvam, non-difference from the cause. Sloka 41 points out that in Pralaya there is no Guru or Shastra. It is a normal process just as you sleep every day. In Samadhi and in Sushupti also it disappears every day. These states do not reveal Advaita. Without Vedantic Shastra and Guru's guidance, the mind runs with duality. This is Dvaitam, and so we have trouble to remove them. In Sushupti, Pralaya, and Samadhi, though there is no duality, you are unable to experience that non-dual Brahman because you have no thought process. Sloka 42 talks about the sadhana for this. Ishvara Srishti does not obstruct sadhana, it helps it. You cannot avoid or deny it because you must live, eat, work, and have shelter. This is a key difference from some Buddhist views is that they deny the world as Kshanikam and Shunya. In Vedanta, we accept everything as one. Vedanta says the world is created out of joy by Ishvara. God consciousness created it. The Lord's creation is beyond the realm of cause and effect. A flower reflects joy, not pain. All problems come from Jiva Srishti as likes, dislikes, mine, and yours. We have to change our viewpoint and see creation as God's. Then pain becomes tapasya, a test of attitude. There are two aspects of this Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti is the creation of God, and we see it as a material and efficient cause. In Ishvara Srishti, we can see two kinds of duality. In Vedanta, we say duality is an obstruction for non-dual experience because this duality is ignorance. But we use the duality as a means of sadhana. When you use something purposefully by knowing its nature, then actually you can use it well. Sloka 43 explains that Jiva Srishti can be made into two parts. Jivatvaidam means the world of duality created by the individual. One is Shastriyam, meaning that which is according to scriptures and sanctioned by scriptures. The second one is Ashastriyam, non-scriptural. It is not sanctioned by scriptures or gurus, which include desire, attachment, and emotional bondage. Until you experience Brahman, Sachitananda, we have to continue with and take the support of Shastriya, that's scriptural sadhana and knowledge. Perceive objects without emotional attachment. If you want to be emotionally attached, see the emotion of God consciousness. Then you will change all your personal emotions into universal emotions. Sloka 44 tells us, how long should we follow the scriptures and study Vedanta? Shravana, Manana, Nidithyasana are Manasam Jagat or mental creations. When the Tattva is realized, even Shastra can be rejected. They will dissolve. When you enter Atma, the thought I am Atma also ceases. The aim is to merge subjective and objective consciousness into one. At that stage, there is no duality, no thought, and no effort. When you experience the truth, you can leave all the sadhana because it is worthy of rejection. Shastra itself says that the Shastra is not for the sake of learning indefinitely, it is for your experience. When we enter into Atma, the thought of Atma also ceases. Even Brahmakara Vritti will cease to exist. Life itself is Atma. Meditating on Atma is before entering Atma. If you are meditating on Atma, it means you have not entered into Atma. You have not fully experienced it yet. What we call as Dvaita is the subjective consciousness and objective consciousness. Our aim is to merge the subjective consciousness into objective consciousness and the objective consciousness into subjective consciousness. That is the stage where you entered into Atma's existence. In that state, even thought processes like I am Atma, I am Brahman do not exist. Swamiji concluded with this point. Hari Om, over to Swamiji. Thank you.
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्य कृतो वन्ते भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः नमस्ते शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम नमो नारायणाय So we are continuing with the practice of Brahmakara Vritti. So now Vidyaranya Swamiji is taking us towards the point where we leave even Shastra. Only Shruti can say that you take up Shastra, continue with the Shastra studies. Once the aim is attained, the Shastras also merges into that. So therefore, the Shastra study is not the sake of Shastra study. Rather, it is to experience what is already there. So Shastra shows the point or the way how you can experience yourself, which is already there in your experience. So that is what Shastra does. Therefore, even Shastra is not ultimate for us. Ultimate in the sense, it's not ultimate reality as Atma or the Moksha itself. Bhagavad Shankaracharya beautifully states in his Brahmasutra Bhashya, he says, Mokshamekam varjayitva sarvasya avidyatmakatva. He says, apart from moksha, everything is within avidya. It's because of avidya. So only moksha, which is the swarupam, atma cha mukti. So moksha is our swarupam. So therefore, now we can see that though the Shastra says, Shastra opens our mind, Shastra takes us up to the liberation, and Gurus help us to understand those Shastras well, correctly. But even that is not something ultimate. So now you see, these are the points which Vedanta daily confirm and communicate with us. No other school of thought can declare that their Shastra itself is not ultimate. Only Advaita Vedanta is there to declare that even this Shastra is a means. It doesn't mean you can leave it anywhere in any time. It doesn't mean. It means you have to study Shastras according to the system, and then ultimately where the point comes, automatically you will be separated from that. Just Shastra will go its own way, and you will enjoy that you will be in that state of enjoyment, bliss. So there is no Shastra, no Shasta, no Guru, no Shishya, Naiva Guru, Naiva Shishya. So this is what is the reality here. Now we take up the 44th sloka. So we were discussing when we enter into the Atma Jnana, into that state of liberation, the thought of Atma also will cease to exist. It will also disappear. I am that Atma, I am Brahman. I am not anatma. I am not this body. I am not this mind. All these are thoughts only. It's a mental thought. It's a process. So mind makes all this. So even that thought is not necessary. Like if we want, when we think about ourselves as human being, or no anything related to that, we don't think every time that I am a human being, I should be like this, I should behave like this. All these thoughts do not come up because human being is our nature, that we have accepted it, we have no doubt. Therefore, we don't have to make a thought on that. We don't have to study about what is humanity is, or what is a human being is all about, because we are that. So when we study physiology and all other subjects, we may study our physical manifestation and the whatever the manifestation, their developments and all those. That's another subject. So when we think about ourselves, there is no need to apply the thought as we are human beings. Similarly, in that state of consciousness, we don't have to think that I am Atma, I am Brahman, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this kosha, and I am not this kosha. This is when we do sadhana, of course, we have to practice this. So in the beginning, we need to practice those. We have to actually confirm, or no, I cannot say it is believe or accepting or anything, but we have to really experience that we are not body and mind. There is no process like when you again then you will think that, oh no, we will practice this, I am not this body, I am not this body, and when you think this constantly, after maybe some time you will realize yourself, no, this is not the way. This is a process to get the detachment and the connections and disconnections of this body and mind complex. They're connected to this. So that is what the next sloka says. Atma Brahma Vijarakyam Shastriyam Manasam Jagat Buddhe Tattve Tachaheyam Iti Srutyanuशासनम. So in last sloka it is said, Jiva Dvaidam tu Shastriyam Ashastriyam Ditha Upadadiya Shastriyam Atattvasya Avabodhanat. Atattvasya Avabodhanat. So the last sloka said, there is the Jiva Dvaita, means the Jiva Srishti is Shastriya and Ashastriya, Ditha. So it is two kinds of Srishtis. Shastriya, according to the Shastra, or what is said in Shastra, and Ashastriya, which is not there in Shastra. It's purely mental thoughts. It's not from Shastras. So we have two. Out of those two, Shastriyam Upadadiya Adattvasya Avabodhanat. So until we realize Brahman, the Shastriya Dvaita. The Shastriya Dvaita means there are scriptures, Shastras, and we are studying those Shastras. Our gurus are teaching us those Shastras. All these relations, all these things are called Shastreeya Dvaita, the scriptural duality, or the duality sanctioned by, discussed in, or we can say connected with the scriptural study. So this we have to accept. Otherwise, we can't go beyond that. So going beyond is not our aim, but when we realize, when we get into that stage of mind, automatically other things will go away. We don't be uh, keeping those things. There is no need. So this is how it goes. So tatvasya avabodhana means until you realize that, the Shastra should come, your Shastra's help should be there. So after that, Atma Brahma Vicharakhyam Shastriya Manasam Jagat. So that Atma Brahma Vichara is called Brahmakara Vritti. The reflection on the nature of self as Brahman. That's called Atma Brahma Vichara. This is called Shastriya Manasam Jagat. This is also Manasa. This is also mental. But it's scriptural, and it's like we can say it is more sattvic and helpful. It's not harmful, but it is helpful. Therefore, Shastriyam Manasam Jagat. So this duality of Shastra we accept until we realize that. And now the question arises, after realizing, is there an effort to leave the Shastra? Is there any effort to leave the Guru? Not change the Guru? No, people do, no? After studying sometimes, they will change the teacher. They think, oh, this teacher is not very good. This teacher is unable to teach me. I'm not getting it. You will be unsatisfied with the teacher and you will change the teacher. Similarly, once the realization happens, what that person, the Jivan Mukta, will think about his teacher and teaching and the scriptures. All this, what would happen? Those things. Will he remove all those? Leave off? No. What would happen is he will not be no, those things won't be attached to him, and he will not feel that I should do this, I should study Shastra, or without this I cannot leave. This is no, it's internal progress goes like that. It's like automatically changing. There is no effort applied. There is no need for any effort to put that, to leave those things. So what happens after realizing also, because of his previous practices, he may continue with those. It's like, no, we call as prarabdha karma. We discussed this in Tattvabodha, the last part of Tattvabodha, prarabdha karma. So according to prarabdha karma is based on the practices. Now, with those prarabdha karma, in accordance with the prarabdha karma, he was leading his life, his day-to-day life. So similarly, he may continue to read books, continue to preach on those subjects, and continue to be with Guru and respect Guru, all this will happen. Because he is not putting any effort to change it or stop it, nothing. So whatever happens, according to the prarabdha and the previous practices, it will carry on. So there is no special effort put into that. So therefore, when we say Atma Brahma Vicharakyam Shastriyam Manasam Jagat Buddhe Tattve Tachaheyam, it is worthy of rejection or to be rejected. The rejection is also happening there automatically because there is no purpose left. So purposelessly, automatically it will happen. It's like the momentum is there, so that will continue. So this is how we live after the experience. So this point is again no, a little more illustrated and clarified. Shastranyadhitya medhavi abhyasya cha punah punaha paramam brahma vijnaya ulkavattan tanyathotsrajet. So this is also we discussed. The Shastrani adhitya medhavi abhyasya cha punah punaha. So after learning Shastras, Shastrani adhitya. Now, how certain functions of the mind is helpful. Now, when we talk about mental functions, when we talk about sadhana, people say one should practice samadhi, ekagrita, controlling mind, and thoughts should be stopped, all those. But there are certain functions of mind or certain thought process which is helpful for your sadhana. Without those, you can't proceed in your sadhana. So those are called Shastrani Adhitya, the learning of Shastra. From a learned guru, from a systematic learning, one should learn Shastras well. Now, why we emphasize that one should learn according to the system from a proper guru and in a proper way, methodologically, one should learn. Why we emphasize on that? However, people say, however, you know that this is true, that this is untrue, this is real, and this is unreal. If you have this determination, discrimination, then everything is done. Or if you continuously contemplates aham brahmasmi, soham brahma, soham hamsa soham, and all those, it's done. Why you need a proper guru and proper study and systematically learning all this? Why? What is the need for that? You see, that is what he is saying. If you properly read, properly learn a book, in your experience, you just think about or just remember your experience. When you learn something properly in the sense with the full application of mind, if you learn something, read a book, then what would happen after that? You will be satisfied with the reading. No? So you will be satisfied with the reading. You know what is there in that book. So you completely receive all those things. So then there is no need of second reading, or you will not take up that book in your hand for another reading, because you have learned it well. You know what is there in that book completely. There is no doubt. So then you don't take up again that study. Right? This is what is our experience. Similarly, if you learn Shastra with the Sravana Manana system from a good guru, by systematically, if you learn, that Shastra will give you the the effect of that, the what is the benefit from that. You will get the benefit from that, and when you get benefited, you are satisfied. And after satisfaction, you will not take up the subject again, because you know it. If you are not properly reading a book, or you are unable to read or unable to study books or subject, what would happen? You will feel that it is not complete. I am not satisfied with the study. I have to study again and again and again. So you will go one after another. You will take up one book and another book, and then you will change the teacher, change the book, change the system, and everything will happen. It will continue. It may continue for lifelong. Nothing will happen. At last, you will be unsatisfied with all these studies. Right? You will all agree with me, because you are all learned person. You studied, you are in schools and colleges, and you will agree, if you studied something properly, it is satisfaction. The satisfaction is there. You realized it. Now you have not studied properly, something from here, something then there, and all this making together, and nothing will happen. And they will feel that you have not got it. Right? So this is what he is saying. So when you do Sravana, it means when you study Vedanta or any subject, study it properly. Study it properly, systematically from a good guru with the traditional system, so that your study will give you some effect. Therefore, people normally say, oh, for Vedanta study it takes long time. No, maybe you have to study for years and years, and nothing will happen. And this is all they say. No, there is no need. If you study properly, uh, if you take up a correct textbook, or no, right book, right textbook, you study it properly, that's enough. Everything will be there, like Panchadashi we have taken up. See, if you study Panchadashi, there is no need for studying Upanishad, there is no need for studying anything. Because whatever you need to know from Vedantic point of view, you will get from Panchadashi. So this is like, it's a complete textbook. Similarly, if you take up any Upanishad, study it properly with all its technical terms and definitions, so you will get everything. Ishavasyam, the small Upanishad, that is enough. Mandukya Upanishad is fine. So that is what is called Shravana. You have to study it. Otherwise, what you will feel for 30 years, 40 years, you will continue to study, nothing will happen. So the thought process will change. Nothing will happen means, I don't say like that, but I mean to say the complete satisfaction is not there. So you will search for another guru, another teacher. You will leave one teacher and go to another teacher, take up another subject, and it will continue. Now what you see what here Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji says. So Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji says, Shastran Adhitya. You learn Shastras perfectly, correctly. Medhavi Abhyasya cha Puna Puna. Medhavi means an intelligent person, a good student. Oh, good student is called Medhavi in Sanskrit. So he know how to study, and he can grasp it well, remember it, and apply it. He knows the application of that and the theory of that, everything. So that he is called Medhavi, a good student, an intelligent person. What would he do? Abhyasya punah punah. He will study it again and again, repeatedly. Repeatedly, he will practice. He will memorize all those. And then Parabrahmam Vijnaya. Parabrahma Vijnaya. Then knowing, having known the Parabrahma, the ultimate reality, Supreme Brahman, Tani Atha Utsrijed, Ulkavad Tani Utsrijed. He will throw away. Utsrijed means throw away or keep aside, like a torch. Now, for what you are using the torch? You need a torch. If you are going in a darkness or somewhere on the way, you need a torch light. So you will take a torch light and go, and when you reach your destination, so what you will do? You will keep the torch aside and then enter into the place. Of course, torch light is necessary for your way, to show your way. No, the flaming torch is necessary. But torch, you are not going to keep that torch once you reach the destination. So that is what here. The Shastras and Gurus are like torch. They are showing the light. So they are giving you the way, showing the way. So they are showing or shedding light on your way in your sadhana. So Parabrahma Udgavad Tani Utsrije. So this is what happens. So ulka means ulka, the word used for burning wood. No, in the olden days, instead of torchlight, they were using burning wood or something like that. No, wood like making a torch like the. We have this Olympic torch, no, Olympic torch. So something like that they were using. So that is called ulka. Ulka. So they like torch. So this is what happens. Grantham abhyasya medhavi jnana vijnana tatparaha palalamiva dhanyarthi tejet grantham. Now he says directly, tejet grantham asheshataha. Grantham abhyasya medhavi. The person, that good student, the intelligent person, after studying all these scriptures, Grantham abhyasya, after studying all these scriptures or having studied all these scriptures, Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. He was enjoying that, the knowledge in those scriptures, and he studied it well and experienced it. Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. Jnana means knowledge in general, and Vijnana means a special experience of that knowledge or well practiced knowledge. It's called Vijnana. So Jnana, in the stage of Jnana, in that normal knowledge stage, you may have doubts. No, there is a chance for some doubts and sometimes opposite thoughts and all those. But once those knowledges are become vijnanas, experiences, then you have no doubt. So jnana vijnana tatparaha. So what he does after that, tejet grantham asheshataha. Then he will give all the books to the library. That is what he is. Tejet, as they are no longer of any utility to him. So you will not keep those books in your home. You will take up those books and give to library. I think nobody is keeping in your now you don't have your books you studied in your universities and schools. You don't keep those books, no. You don't have in your library. In your room, we cannot find those books because you studied those, you got the certificate, and you gave up, thrown away. All those books you maybe gave, no. So you maybe sometimes people give to somebody else for the studies, and normally they give to some library or somewhere like that. And some people, they burn all this like waste. Sometimes people do that, but that is not good. You can give to some other people, some other students who are interested in those subjects. So this is what he does. So he directly says, Tejet Grantham Asheshada, for giving all these books to the library. Now he is not interested in reading all these, making notes and things like that. Nothing. He never do that. So does Granthamasa Abhyasya Medhavi Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha Palalamiva Dhanyarthi. And he is giving an example, illustration. Palalamiva Dhanyarthi. Palalamiva Dhanya. Dhanya means grains. Palala means husk of those grains. So Palalamiva Dhanyarthi. He is only interested in that grain. He is not interested in husk. So once he got that grain, so husk is separated, so he just throw it away. So palalamiva dhanyarthi tejet grantham asheshataha, because there is no utility in that case. So therefore, it's no longer he is interested in those books or studying again those scriptures. So how can, when he can do that, that is, he is quoting from Shruti. Next sloka. Tameva dhiro vijnaya prajnam korveda brahmanaha nanudhyayat bahun shabdan vacho viklabanagam hitat. Now you see, whatever here Vidyaranya Mahaswamiji says is all according to the scriptures, according to the Upanishads. Because this point is very special. You may think we are studying this and now you say ultimately there is no study, we have to give up all these books to the library and be free. How can it possible? No. So what is the pramanam for that? So he is giving a pramanam, scriptural sloka. Tameva dhiro vijnaya prajnam kurvida brahmana. An intelligent person, a good seeker, dhiro vijnaya, after having experienced that Brahmana's self, tameva dhiro vijnaya, prajnam kurvita. Prajna means After studying, you got some ideas of Vedanta or about Brahman. Then, repeatedly contemplating on that, you applied it. And after application, you got the experience, the higher level of knowledge, the real knowledge. That is called prajna. It's a special knowledge. Prajna means special knowledge, intuitive knowledge or special knowledge. Experience is with experience. It's not just knowledge, but with experience. So tameva dhiro vijnaya prajnam kurvida brahmana. Dhira means he's a wise person. He is really interested in that. He was sincerely practicing the sadhana. So tameva dhiro vijnaya prajnam kurvita. So it's a confirmation. Now you have no doubt on those subjects. You have no doubt on yourself. So everything is confirmed and confirmed. So this is called vijnanam vijnaya prajnam kurvida brahmanaha. So think that he experienced that I am Brahman. I am not this body and mind. I am Brahman self. So prajnam kurvida. And now this is his stage, or it means he realized it after nididhyasana. This is the stage where nididhyasana is completed. Now, nanudhyayan bahun shabdan vajo viglabanam he said. In this stage, after once he experienced this stage, don't worry about reading books or again studying. Oh, we have not studied this book, this Upanishad, and that Upanishad and Brahma Sutra, and I have to study this, I have to study that. Nanudhyayat bahun shabdan. There is no need to take up many books, not read to utter many words or think of many subjects. So, na anudhyayad bahun shabda. So here he says many words or many subjects. But why he says many? Because like Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, there are few words that you need it for contemplation. Other than those Mahavakyas, you don't have to read much once you are confirmed in that knowledge, established in that knowledge. So he will not go after so many books reading and thinking about. We have seen such sadhakas, such swamis or gurus. No, they will take up any subject from any Upanishad or any grantha and discuss on that. That's all. They remember all those books. So this is the process. Because you have studied it well. You remember all those. Now you know what is there in Prakaranam Upanishad, what is there in Brahma Sutra, what is there in Gita, what is there in this Panchadashi and all those subjects you studied. So that is why I said one has to study properly. Then only you can remember. You studied many books, but you don't remember anything. What is the use? So it will not help. So why we study? To remember. Yes? We are not studying for just for the sake of studying, no, just studying we have to complete the grantha. No. So therefore here the Upanishad itself says, this is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this sloka, 47th sloka is directly from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says, Na anudhyayat bahun shabdan. We will discuss this subject again in 6th chapter and 7th chapter. So, na anudhyayat bahun shabdan. Leave off all those words, unnecessarily uttering so many words and speaking on that. No, it is not necessary. Vajo viglapanam hidat. It's all disturbance, the waste of energy. Unnecessarily reading all these things. You see, Upanishad itself says, Vajo viglapanam hitat. It's waste. Unnecessarily uttering so many things and daily doing all these things. It's like wasting your energy. So you don't waste once you realized this. Now up to you how you are going to decide this. You are confirmed with the idea, the thoughts in Vedanta, or you are not confirmed. So first study it well and make the mind without doubts, everything is clear, and establish those ideas. Then you will feel the satisfaction. So there is no need to do anything. Maunam, you will be in Maunam. So this is what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad as well as Viveka Chudamani says. So again, Mundaka and Katha also say the same thing. Tameva ekam vijanidha hyanya vajo vimunjatha yached vang manasi prajnah ityadya hrudayasputaha. So here Mahaswamiji says, it is not my words, it is not my idea. It is stated in Upanishads. Tam eva ekam vijanitha hi anyo vajo vimumchata. Know that one reality, tam eva ekam vijanitha. So the one undual reality, Advaita Atma, tameva ekam janitha. So you know that, then anya vajo vimunchatha. Give up other talks, other discussion. Don't do that. So anyo vajo vimunchatha. So this is one statement from Mundaka Upanishad. Okay. So tameva ekam janitha hi anyo vajo vimunchatha. So to know that Brahman, you need like little small sentences like Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Atme Vedagum Sarvam, Aham Atma, Soham Brahma. So all these small words, contemplate on that. This is called Nididhyasana. So once you established in Nididhyasana, Anyo Vajo Vimunchada, you are in deep meditation on that subject. So there is no vacha, there is no words, there is no process of anything else, no practice. Then the second sloka from Kathopanishad says, Yached Vakmanasi Pratnya Stadeched Jnana Atmani Jnanam Atmani Mahadi Niyached Tadached Chanta Atmani. Here in Kathopanishad, one Nididhyasana technique is described. It says, Yached Vang Manasi Pratnyaha. The mind is to be settled, merged into intellect. So the Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. We have practiced this meditation. In last Bangalore session, we have practiced this. So the mind Yached Vang Manasi, mind is to be settled. No, the Vang Manasi means words and other activities of no sense organs should be merged into mind, and then the mind is to be settled in intellect. Yached Vang Manasi Prajna. Tad yached Jnana Atmani. Jnana Atmani means intellect. And Jnanam Atmani Mahadini yached. So that individual intellect should be merged into cosmic intellect. Mahati Atmani. Mahati Jnane. So we have two kinds of intellect, as you know. Individual intellect and cosmic intellect. Individual intellect is called buddhi and cosmic intellect is called hiranyagarbha or the cosmic jnanam. So this we have studied in Tattvabodha, I don't know, there when we studied this. So the mind also has two forms, individual mind and cosmic mind. And intellect also similarly has two forms. So here it is said, the individual intellect, buddhi, should be merged into, settled into cosmic intellect. Identify with that. The merging means identifying with that. So jnanam atmani mahadini yachet, and jnanam atmani mahadini yachet. After that, tad yachet chant atmani. So ultimately, that should settle in Brahman. Finally, the cosmic intellect will be identified with yourself, the self-consciousness, the individual consciousness of the cosmic consciousness, all-pervading consciousness. So this is the process. So the jnanendriyas, the sense organs, the activities of sense organs will be settled in mind, merged in mind, and the mind is into merged into intellect, and the individual intellect which is identified within the body is identified with the cosmic intellect or pervading intellect, and then ultimately that cosmic intellect is identified with the self consciousness. So it becomes Satchidananda. It's one with the consciousness. So this is the meditation techniques. This is called the Nididhyasana here. Now, after that, once you experience this, then there is nothing else. So let your mind rest, or let your intellect rest in yourself. The self is the only entity, only reality. So this is the final stage of Nididhyasana described in Kathopanishad, Tridiyavali. Up to this 48 sloka, we discussed about the Shastreeya, the scriptural methodology of meditation or this practice of Nididhyasana. Now, 49th sloka says, now we have a second, we have another mind which is restless. This is we discussed about the mind which is practicing sadhana. It is no concentration on all those. Now there is a mind, Ashastreya. Ashastreya means obstructive mind, restless mind. Now that mind also has two forms. It says in 49th Sloka, Ashastriyamapi dvaidam tivram mandamiditpitha. Ashastriyamapi dvaidam tivram mandamiditpitha. Kama krodhadikam tivram manorajyam tathetarat. So Ashastriyamapi dvaitam tivram mantamidi dvitha. Because in the 43rd sloka, sloka number 43, Jivadvaitam tu Shastriyam Ashastriyam iti dvitha. It was mentioned there, introduced there as the Jiva Srishti of two kinds. Shastriyam, sanctioned by Shastra according to the Shastra, and Ashastriyam is normal, no, whatever we experience. So that is Ashastriya. Now this Ashastriya, which is not according to the Shastra or scriptural practices, Ashastriyam, that duality is, that creation of Jiva is also two form, like Tivra and Manda. Tivra means very intense, because it is obstructive, so very intense. And Manda means it mild. It's mild. That's called Manda. So it has two forms, Tivra and Manda. Now what is Tivra? What is very intense form of that mind? Is called Kama Krodhadikam. Kama Krodhadikam. It's all harmful activities. From those two, the most harmful activities are Kama Krodhadikam. Lust, anger, desires, all this. Kama Krodhadikam. Tivra. This is called, because it disturbs mind. When there is lust in the mind, it is restless. When there is anger in the mind, it is restless. You cannot do anything. You cannot do any study or contemplation, japa, tapa, nothing will happen. So therefore it is tivra, very intense. So kama krodhadikam tivram and manorajyam tathetaram. Manorajya means like just sitting in one place and imagining something, doing the daydreams. You be uh, know that daydreams, building casters in the mind, in the air, and making something like that, continuing with those thoughts, is called manorajya. It is not tivra, it is not very intense. So it may generate some disturbance in the mind, but it can be managed. Therefore, it is called dull. Manorajyam tatha idarat, mandam, mild. So these both forms are destructive forms of mind, according to the Shastra, when we take up as a sadhana. Kama krodhadikam and manorajyam. Now, how to control of this? How we are going to do this? So here we apply all the sadhanas to control this obstructive mind. So if you study Shastras, you will get with a good support from Shastra, you can make a constructive mind, supportive mind. And this mind is not going to support you. This mind will say, oh, if you have anger, who is going to listen Vedanta? So nobody will listen. So everything is Brahman, or people have their mind, or what is going to do, nothing will happen. in that stage of angry, nobody will accept any scriptural thought. Nobody will do that. You cannot say, if you say some Vedanta who is angry in front of you, he will again beat you up, push you up, pull you up, and throw your books there. So therefore, that is very strong. But Manorajya means all imaginary small disturbance. You just, sometimes people sit in a place and very quiet, calm. They look like very calm, sitting and meditating. Actually, they are doing all this daydreaming inside, thinking of so many things, what is happening there or all those. But they are sitting very quiet. So this is also disturbance. So now here he's talking about all psychologically points. Now, when you practice sadhana, one has to understand all this. Then only that sadhaka can overcome his passions and his disturbances in the mind. So, therefore, kamakrodhadikam tirvam manorajyam tathetarat. Ubhayam tattvabodhat prak nivarya bodha siddhaye. Ubhayam tattvabodhat prak nivarya bodha siddhaye. Shamas samahitatvam cha sadhaneshu shrutam yataha. Samahitatvam cha sadhaneshu shrutam yataha. So, Ubhayam tattvabodhad prag nivaryam bodha siddhaye. So, now what one should do before starting the study into the nature of Brahman, one has to remove both of this. It means this krodhadikam and manorajyam, both. So this one has to remove all these obstructions. For that, for what? Vicharya bodha siddhaye. Nivarya bodha siddhaye. Then only that sadhaka can experience the knowledge. So bodha siddhaye, for that experiencing the knowledge. Now what are the sadhana for that? Shamaha samahitatvam ja sadhaneshu srutam. Now in general you know it. Kama krodhadikam, to control all these desires, anger, passions, all those, one has to practice shama. Shama is called manodigraha. We know from Tattva Bodha what is shama is. Manodigraha, controlling, restraining the mind and mental thoughts is called shama. So one has to practice that. This is a practice for controlling the mind. Now you see, this mind is ashastreeya. It's not supporting mind. It's not is not, that mind is not supporting you for sadhanas. It's obstructive mind. Therefore, you have to practice this. So shamaha, controlling, restraining the mind, thoughts. Samahidatvam. And then the second one is manorajyam. To stop this manorajyam, daydreaming, unnecessarily thinking of so many things, baseless. No, we say building castle in the air. So just building something, they're making something. Nothing going to happen. So this is called manorajya. So for that, one can practice samahitatvam, one-pointedness, concentration. We call it concentration, dhyanam. meditation, dharana. So one has to practice that. Sitting in a place, stopping the mind, uh, just concentrating on one point with some means, some idea. So that's called samahita. Samahita means samadhi only. So shama and samahita. Shama for kamakrothadi and samahita for the panorajyam, daydreaming. So samahidatvam cha sadhaneshu srutamyataha. So these are the sadhanas, required sadhanas for the these two obstructions, to control, to remove these two obstructions. This is what Shrutam, this is what the scriptures say, Shruti say. Shruti means scriptures, Acharya. So they say this. So this is this we have to practice. Now again their question comes, how long we have to practice this? Shama, Samahidam and all the sadhana chatushtayam, which we have discussed in the first chapter. So how long one has to practice that? That we will see in the next sloka. So that we'll take up in next session. Yeah. If you have any question related to this, you can ask.
Pranam Swamiji, Hari Om.
Pranam.
I have a question regarding, like you said, that once we go through the Shruti, we don't need to stick to it again. Once we realize that we are Brahman. But like you said, that in our college days or university days, we used to read books. But we didn't read the complete book, the whole book. We read what was in the syllabus and what made us to pass the course. So there were certain chapters unread, and because those chapters were unread, we left those books like the husk of the grain, right? So likewise, there is athaha jnanam. There is no limit to jnana. And as you said, that once we realize we are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, so that realization, to reach that realization, we have to go through the scriptures. Or maybe for life, for not for in this life alone, maybe in many lives. So I don't think there is any stop on the scriptures. We have to take recourse to scriptures, take the help of scriptures until we realize. And once we realize, then I think there is no need to, because realization will connect us with the cosmic Hiranyagarbha. And that way then scriptures are of no use. But scriptures are so intense, they are so deep that we can't say that we have read them and we are done with it. What's your take on this, please?
You see, this subject itself is no, as just now we discuss. It's like to understand this subject is itself is a no, very difficult. It's very deep in that. Now, was simply if you want to understand this, as I brought up that example of our own life, like we read books, as you said, we studied in schools and colleges. Whatever we studied, are we satisfied with those studies, or we did we complete that study? No, those studies we did it. If we now if something is asked from those test books, can we answer those correctly? Did we remember those things? No, we don't remember. We can't answer the questions of those books we already studied. Now, what was the means? The aim was to get that subject, no, that certificate of that subject, or you passed that, no, the standard of that class. So once you passed out, the passing out was the aim, not the study itself, not understanding, not getting into that subject. The passing out was the aim of that. Similarly here, the experience of Brahman, the oneness of that experience as Aham Brahmasmi is the subject, is the aim here, purpose here. If once that is complete, it gives complete satisfaction. It's not like we, studied in college, and it's unlike that. So unlike the studies in schools, we were not satisfied with that. But here, you will get complete satisfaction. When I say complete satisfaction means you don't have to, you will not bother to get any other thing out of something else. So the all bothering, all requirement, all anxiety is completed. It's gone. So that is a speciality here. Now, once that is done, like passing out, once you passed out, now why you are going for again to that university? I don't think any of us again went to that same university just to no there. You never turn back and go to that place. You left it. Yeah. So similarly, this is what is happening. Now you see our great Acharya like Vidyaranya Swamiji, he himself declared that. Not only he is quoting from Upanishad that we will again discuss in detail in 6th and 7th chapter, the same Slokas. So this is it's a special satisfaction, we can say. It's ultimate satisfaction or whatever, I don't know what to say. It's like complete. So therefore, in addition to that, what we can say is, okay, I studied this, I mentioned this point. Again, he is not applying any effort to stop it. If he is interested in reading books, he may continue to read books. It is like playing with dolls and things like that. You just like to play. You don't have any purpose. Logavattu Leela Kaivalya, we will continue to play that. So this is a stage of experience. Now there is no seeking tendency. There is no desire to get some special benefit. It is purposeless, but seemingly purposeful. It is aimless, but seemingly withheld. It is desireless, but seemingly with strong desire. Kuryad vidwan tada saktaha. This is what Gita says. So similarly, those action may continue or may not continue. It's not there is no system that say you should stop it or you should not stop it. It is up to the person, up to that realized person, Jivan Mukta, what is his practice, he will continue. If he like to read books, he may read it. Okay, so therefore it is there is some similarity and some dissimilarity with the studies what we do today. Because therefore, the passing out is the main purpose. Okay.
No other questions, Swamiji.
No other question. So I think all have passed out of question. So that there is no need to ask any question. It will happen slowly. It will happen. There won't be any question, and I will also feel that there is nothing to talk. Now somehow some ideas we are getting, so new ideas we are talking all this. So you can inform me when you feel that not no listening, like you don't like to listen or you don't like to get more knowledge. When you are completed, you can just leave the space and sit quietly and contemplate. Okay, nididhyasana. So we need to get into that state. So Shravana, Manana, nididhyasana. But that confirmation should be correct. It means you should not regret after that. So if you get those if you get that type of confirmation, you are free to do that. So that is what, because he is allowing you to do that. Or Vidyaranya Muniji is allowing you to do that. So you can do that. Okay. So contemplate on this. So we are no, each chapter is like this. Now Panchadashi. Now you see last chapter also we had something like this, and now this chapter is also like this, and again now we will have fifth chapter. Fifth chapter is like small chapter, all Tattvamasi and Mahavakya discussion. After that, sixth chapter is also same. Once you study your complete sixth chapter, that is complete. After that, there is no need to go beyond that. So we will see. Okay. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.